Hello everybody, my name is Panda, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make an intro. So this tutorial isn't going to be for beginners per se. I will be doing some things that, well, isn't for straight up beginners now. I don't think I'm the most creative and most talented intro maker of all time. Trust me, I don't believe that I am at all. But today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make an intro. So if you want to learn how to make the text that I'm going to be using in this tutorial, you can refer to my other tutorial, which is how to make 2D, 3D text in Photoshop. So without further ado, let's begin this tutorial. Also, I will be using one of these 3 Tobu songs and some sound effects, and yeah. So the tutorial for the text will be linked in the description, and the expressions will be linked in the description. Alright, without further ado, let's begin. So before this even starts, I just want you guys to know that you will not need any external plugins for After Effects at all. You won't need any kind of extra plugins for After Effects, just so you know, if you're gonna follow this tutorial. I'm just gonna be doing it from all within After Effects, which is what I've been doing a lot more recently. I haven't been using like any external plugins at all in any of my intros recently. And I think they're pretty good, well, pretty decent. I'm not saying they're good, they're decent. Let's begin. So you want to create a new comp and do whatever settings. For mine, it's 1280 by 720, 60 frames a second, and it's going to be a duration of 8 seconds. Now, what you can do is you can also make this an overlay intro if you so choose to. I'm not going to be making this an overlay intro, but if you want to, you can hit this little button that says toggle transparency grid. This basically indicates that it's going to have a transparent background. But when you render, you're going to have to change some settings, which I'll show you at the end of the video. But yeah, for now it's going to be a black canvas so we can do stuff. So what I want to do is I want to drag this text onto this layer. This is a nice simple 3D, 2D text that I created. I'll go into full. It's a really nice simple 2D, 3D kind of text that I created in Photoshop. So yeah, you can make your own text that looks very similar to this by following the tutorial that's in the description. Now what we want to do is we want to find a specific, actually we can start with the intro first. We don't have to get the song immediately. So we want to right click in this little box area, right click new and click shape layer. Now with the shape layer we want to drag it underneath the text layer, and we want to create an ellipse and a fill. Now with the fill, you can change it to the color of the actual text that you made, and then maybe mess with the color so it's not exactly that color, so it doesn't like blend in too much. Then with this, you want to basically drag the size all the way past till it covers every inch of the canvas type of shit. So once it covers that, you want to go in, you want to basically click S a couple times, and this will bring everything down. Then you want to click on the shape layer and click S again, and it'll pop up the scale, and you want to basically go into here and type the scale to 0, click this little stopwatch, go to about 1 second in, and then click that, and then click here, and then type in 100. Then it'll look like this, which is basically nothing, but it will look like something at some point. Your text will look like this, basically. Well, these little keyframes will look like this. You want to select them and then hit F9. That will basically smooth them out so it's a lot smoother, but still it kind of goes in really slow. And you don't want it to look like that. You want it to look a little bit more smoother, and that's what this little graph editor is going to do. So you want to select this, and then you want to drag both of these little yellow things fairly close to the center, but not all the way. You don't want it to be all the way, because then it might not look that great and it might not look that smooth. So if we play this back, as you can tell, it doesn't look as smooth as it will when it renders, depending on your computer. If you have a really good computer, it should show you it looking perfect. What we can do, if you still don't believe that it will look good, is you can drag it a little bit further like that, and then you can basically have it looking really nice and smooth. Now if we go back into the graph editor, if you didn't have this option where it's straight and it shows like a curve going like that, if you don't have that, you'll probably be on auto select value and or value graph you just want to select speed graph, and then that's how you get to that. So yeah, that's by default usually in most After Effects, I'm pretty sure, but now it's back to the right setting. Alright, so now that that's done, we're just going to create a couple more extra little things. And first off, we're gonna duplicate that shape layer, and I'm going to go into this, go to that, click delete. I want to delete my keyframes, and just watch what I'm doing. It's way easier than actually trying to listen to what I'm trying to say. Then we're gonna go to the color, and we're going to change this color to probably like a white. And then we're gonna do this, and we're going to click this little chain right here. This will basically remove the limitations of changing the scale. We're going to change it to 1280 by 720, basically the canvas size, or 1920 by 1080, whatever resolution you have it set to. And then we're going to do that. So now we have just a square, a white square. We're going to go into Effects and Presets, Then we're going to go to Transitions, and we're going to hit we're going to grab this CC Jaws and drag it onto our little composition here. Now we're going to drag this a little bit, and you'll see, ooh, look, it's like little jaws. But you want to change that height to 0, and then you'll get that. You want to change that, go to 90, and then make it go 100%. Go to about here, click this little stopwatch, go to like around here, and drag that to 0. Now we're going to do this, and we're going to select, go to the graph editor, and then we're going to do the same thing that we did with the other transition. And then we should have something that looks like this. Now, this doesn't look good right now, but it should look better in a minute. So now what we want to do is we want to go with this direction, click the little stopwatch, drag the direction forward a little bit. You don't really have to get it perfect. And then you want to do 0. And then we're going to go to where this next keyframe is, right about there, and then we're going to drag this keyframe here. So now we're going to select these, hit F9, do the same thing that we did with the transition, where we drag the speed up with the graph editor, and then there. So now we should have something that looks like this, where it looks fairly nice. We want to drag it a little bit sooner, and then have it drag out a little bit like that. So then it should look like this. Actually, I want to do this. So I'm going to drag this straight to the front, and then like that. Alright, so now that it's like this, we want to click this shape layer that's our new transition, and then we're going to hit Control D. This will create a copy, and then we're going to go into Contents. We're going to go into Effects, CC Jaws. Now we're going to go here, and we're going to go up here where it says Fill. You want to do this, and you want to change the color to something else. I'm going to change it to another blue color. Now for the direction, we're going to change this to -90. This will basically make it look like this. Pretty neat, right? Pretty nifty, right? Now we're gonna make this go to probably like a darker kind of black color. Then we're gonna create another layer. We're going to change this one's color, probably, I don't know, maybe a lighter blue. Actually, we're gonna change this one to like a dark black. Change this one to, I don't know, like, yeah, how about like a bluish color. And then for this, we're going to go to here, go to CC Jaws again, go to this keyframe, and we're going to make this 90. So we should have basically something like that looks like this. Now what we want to do is we want to go to these, and we're going to drag this further a little bit like that, and then drag this like that. So we should have a transition that looks kind of like this, which is fairly nice. Now, what we want to do with this color is we want to make it look good, but we don't want to have it blend in with anything. Like make it like a dark blue. There we go. All right, so we should have something that looks like this. Now, if the RAM preview is not working, I apologize. You will see what the intro looks like at the end. So, yeah, I think that looks alright. Actually, I want to drag this circle forward a little bit so so it takes a little bit more time to zoom in. So this is a very similar transition that I had with my last recent intro, which is an intro for Tully. So yeah, this is the transition, and it looks fairly decent. It doesn't look that bad. If we had a different color, it might look better, like maybe red. With this color, it doesn't seem to look that great, but there's nothing we can really do. So, okay, on to the text. Now, this isn't going to be a super complex intro tutorial, so this is just going to be like a basic, simple text intro. So, now we're going to select the text, make sure it's visible, select the scale, hit the stopwatch, go a little bit before it, and make it 0. Now, you'll see it comes in really quick and doesn't really do anything. Like, it just comes in dead. Then it goes like this, bam. It's like, it just drops dead, does nothing else. And you could just mess with the things and go like, ooh, I'm gonna make it go like that, and I'm gonna make it go like that. And like, ooh, look. Oh, look, doesn't that look cool? Oh, look, I'm an After Effects master! No, don't do that. You can make it look fairly good. You just need an expression. So there will be a link in the description to this expression, which is the inertial bounce, whatever the fuck it's called. Whatever it's called. And yeah, so you want to go down to these settings, because if you don't... Okay, I'll show you how to edit the settings a little bit, because if you don't edit the settings, it'll look like this, and you don't want it to look like this. It's too much bounce, So you want to go down to here, I'll go to frequency, set it to 3 or something like that, and maybe set the amp to 3 or 4 or 4, and the decay I'm going to set to 3 seconds instead of 2 seconds. So if we do this, it'll be like, oh look, it's a slight little bounce. It's a slight little extra little bounce, and it looks kind of nice, doesn't it? Or we could do the amp to 6, and then look what see what that looks like. That's not that bad either. So you can do whatever you want. I'm gonna set the amp to probably back to 3, and the decay I'm gonna set to 1. See what that looks like. Ooh, if we set the decay low, it seems like it bounces a lot more. So I'm going to set the decay to 2, not 12. Wow, that would look horrible. Set it to 2, see what that looks like. If I set it to 2, it's still... Actually, that looks like a nice, simple little bounce. Now, alright, so this intro is all fine and dandy now, but it's not the best intro that anyone could create. It's probably one of the most simple. But what we could do to fix that is we could right-click, create a new shape... Not what I want to do. Right-click, create a new shape layer. And then we're going to put that under the text, sorry. And we're going to create a rectangle, we're going to create a fill, we're going to go into this, we're going to select blue, and we're going to just drag it up like this. Now we're going to go to transform, and we're going to change the rotation to 45. If you're not following this, I'm sorry, I'm not good at tutorials. People want them, I'm not good at them. If you don't want a tutorial, if you want a tutorial that's good, you're never gonna get it. You're just gonna get these tutorials. So, yeah. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to drag this till it's a little bit out of the frame. We're gonna hit the position, go right here, go all the way here, and then we're going to make the position back to 360. And if you didn't follow what I was doing, just go back and then watch what I was doing, because it's way more simple to just watch what I was doing rather than me trying to explain it, because I'm not good at explaining things. So as you can tell, we got something that's like this. Now what we can do with this is we can go to about here, do Control D again on it, change the color to like white, make it, go to click P, go like this. That's how you get a position, by the way. Sorry that I didn't say that, but nothing I can really do about that anymore. Then we're going to go to right around here, and we can select the blue again, and we can make it like a dark blue. Then it looks like this. So it's like, ooh, look, movement. Whoa, that's a weird transition, bro. Ooh. Alright, so now that that's done, we got something that looks like that. And we're gonna, actually I'm gonna make sure you have toggle switches and modes too set to this so you can see all these. Hit Control A to select all the layers and add the motion blur onto it. It's not going to show up yet because we haven't selected the enable motion blur for all the layers options. So now we have something that looks like this, which is alright. It's definitely a decent intro. So this recording is starting to last too long and I don't want to bore anyone else. So now that we've got this is basically the intro. So now what we're going to do is the extra stuff, which is adding in the music and also finishing up the intro and making it look good, or at least decent. So this intro in particular is probably going to be around 4 seconds, just because it seems to be a very short intro. It definitely looks like it's a very short intro. Actually, I'm gonna probably make it 4 seconds and 30 milliseconds or whatever. So now we're gonna create a circle transition, which will basically close off the intro. So what you want to do is you want to right click, click new, shape layer, and we're going to, you guessed it, add an ellipse and a fill. We're going to drag this fill, this ellipse all the way up, and we don't have to change the color of the fill because we're just going to do this. So you want to select this, and you want to hit this button, and then you want to hit this. And you'll be like, why would I do that? If you hit S on the shape layer and you drag it down, oh look, it's a transition. Whoa. Yeah, well, you want to make that back to 100, and we're gonna go probably to about here, and then we're going to go all the way to the end and make that 0. Now this type of intro in particular would probably be good for someone who just wants to have a quick, simple overlay intro that doesn't last too long and just fits. So yeah, so once we do this, it looks like this, and as you can tell, it's super quick and simple, but it does get the job done and it looks good. Now this is like a quicker, simpler version of the intro that I made for Toli, but it's definitely still decent. I would say it's still decent. Now one of the things that we need to do, probably to make it look a little bit better, is we're going to take this text and we're going to select this little thing, go to 430, and make it go up like that. Then we're going to select these two of the text, do this, and we're going to drag them, do the same thing that we did on every single thing with the... So now when we play this, it should look like this, which looks pretty decent. As you can tell, this is a nice, simple, quick 2D intro. So that's basically the gist of the whole tutorial. Now what we're going to do is add the extra little effects, which is probably adding the music, and also adding a little gradient overlay. I actually want to copy this and get rid of it because I accidentally put it on the wrong thing. And we want to do this, and we're going to go to this part, and we're going to do -90, and then we're going to go to here, click overlay, and we're going to drag this. Well, we're going to do 35. 35 is a good setting. Now we're going to go into the effects, and we're going to search vignette, and we're going to do CC vignette, and we're going to drag that onto here, and we're going to go like this to basically give it a little bit of an effect. You don't want to go overboard with a vignette because it can look pretty trash. So yeah, it looks like this now, and it looks pretty good, doesn't it? I think it does. Now what we want to do is we want to add like a swoosh kind of effect to like the end. Yes, I've been saying effect a lot, but there's nothing I can really do. It's an effect. Oh, what am I? So let's see how this looks. I think that doesn't look that great. I want to probably like around here. There we go. Perfect. Now we're going to select this, go to here, and I'm gonna do -60 in these keyframes. By the way, you hit L twice to pop up this little... Ooh, not what I wanted to do. You hit L twice to pop up. L twice to pop up this little thing. Or you just hit L once, then do the waveform so you can get that. Alright, so now we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that. Perfect. Wait, that didn't work. Perfect. So now it should be fine and dandy. Alright, the audio is kind of messing up, but that's just because of the recording. I'm not going to use a sword swipe this time. Alright, so we want to pick the song. I think I'm going to go for this one and find the drop. That's really terrible, but well, let's do that. No, it's not terrible. It just doesn't fit. But we can make it fit. So once the text pops in and it goes like around there, we're going to let the audio. That's when the audio basically drops. I'm going to do that. Now I'm going to select this, go to the beginning, do -60, and we're going to go like this. We're going to select these, F9 to smooth them out. I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to go to here, and then I'm going to go here. So, there will be things that you have to do when you do this next part if you're going to make it an overlay, but if you're not, you don't have to bother. So you want to create a black solid layer and you want to add jaws to it, and then change the height to 0 and then the completion to 80. And on this beginning part is actually right here is where we want to hit a keyframe when the text drops in, and when the text is back away we're going to do something like this. So it looks like this. So just a black bar just pops in, you're just like, whoa! And you're like, whoa, whoa, what is going on? Yeah, I don't even know. But yeah, the audio seems to be messing up just because of the recording and all that. But alright, so this intro is done, basically. So, oh, by the way, if you want to know how to pre-comp, you just hit Control A and do pre-comp, and that's how you do that. Sorry that I'm not very helpful with that kind of thing, but I just want to get this video done and over with, because people have just been asking me, and I haven't had much time at all to do anything. So, alright, so now we've got an intro, and look, it's complete. There we go. Got an intro with the sound, it zooms in, it does zoobity boop, and it goes out. So how do you get rid of it? No, not how do you get rid of it. How do you finish it, basically? Well, and render it out. You have to add it to the render queue, and you want to go into the output module. You want to change this to RGB plus alpha, and then you can render it to your desktop. That's how you get it with the. Oh, actually, you don't want to do that if you're just going to make a normal 2D. That just gives it an alpha channel. If you're going to make a normal 2D, just do RGB like I was going to do. But if you want to render it with the background, with the alpha channel, with the with just the transparent background. If you want to render with just the transparent background, just do RGB plus alpha. And you don't want to do specific things that I did, such as do the fade in and fade out at the beginning, because if you do that, it'll look like this. Like it'll like, oh, what the heck? Whoa. As you can see, the little transparent bars showing up. But yeah, you don't want to do that if you're going to make an overlay intro. Don't use any kind of fade in effect, and also if you're going to do an overlay intro, make sure you make the black bars fade out too, or else it'll probably end up looking bad. So yeah, that's the tutorial for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like. Alright, so if you guys enjoyed this tutorial, leave a like. If you didn't, oh well. But yeah, thanks for watching this video, and I'll catch you guys later.
Damn, son.